The news hit quietly, almost as a whisper in the early morning hours, barely a ripple in the constant tide of headlines. Yet, beneath the surface, its shockwaves were immense and far-reaching. Tyson Foods, a name synonymous with American meat production for generations, is shuttering key plants across the country. These closures aren't just another business decision. They represent a seismic shift in the landscape of American industry and agriculture. These aren't isolated shutdowns. They're part of a troubling pattern that's shaking the heartland. Across rural America, factory doors are closing, and the once bustling parking lots now sit empty, echoing with the memories of livelihoods built and lost. Plants in places like Emporia, Kansas, once economic anchors for entire communities, are going dark, leaving behind uncertainty and a sense of loss. These closures signal a profound shift in our food system's very foundation, one that many never saw coming. Tyson cites cattle shortages and market volatility as the reasons for these drastic measures. But if you look closer, the story is more complex. The supply chain is fraying, and the delicate balance that once kept grocery shelves stocked is now under threat. The real story is deeper. A vulnerability in our food supply we've long ignored. Farmers worry about their future, and consumers are left to wonder if the abundance they've always known can still be counted on. For decades, Tyson symbolized American industrial might, efficiency, and the promise of steady work. Its plants were the beating heart of countless small towns, providing jobs and stability for generations. Now, its retreat marks the end of an era and exposes cracks in our food security. The sight of workers leaving for the last time is more than just a local tragedy. It's a sign that something fundamental is changing in America. This isn't just corporate restructuring. It's a warning that our food system is less stable than we thought. The machinery sits idle, and the silence inside these plants is a stark reminder of how quickly things can unravel. As these slaughterhouses empty, the question isn't just about business. It's about national security and who controls our food. The American flag still flies over these facilities, but the future of our food supply feels more uncertain than ever. Corporate press releases call it strategic realignment, but on the ground, it feels like surrender. Communities are left to pick up the pieces, wondering what comes next and who will step in to fill the void. A void is opening in the center of our food supply chain, a gap that threatens not just jobs, but the very stability of our food system. The ripple effects could touch every dinner table in America. The crucial question remains: who or what will fill it? Will new players emerge, or will this void grow, leaving our food supply more fragile than ever before? The answer will shape the future of America's heartland and the nation itself. The closure of a Tyson plant isn't just a business decision. It's a blow to entire communities. For thousands, the plant was more than a job. It was the backbone of local life, supporting families and small businesses alike. When the plant shutters, the ripple effects are immediate. Lost jobs, struggling businesses, and shrinking tax revenues. Promises of retraining or relocation rarely ease the pain for those rooted in these towns. The community's identity, built around the factory, is thrown into crisis. Corporate support measures are often temporary fixes for deep wounds. The true cost is measured in families facing foreclosure and main streets growing quiet. As Tyson, one of America's meatpacking giants, retreats from certain markets, a new wave of foreign companies, most notably Canadian firms, are quietly stepping in to fill the void. This shift is happening with little fanfare, but its impact is profound and far-reaching. Companies like Maple Leaf Foods and JBS are not just entering the U.S. market, they're actively acquiring American processing facilities, consolidating supply chains, and steadily increasing their influence over what ends up on American dinner tables. Their reach now extends from the heartland to the coasts, reshaping the industry's landscape. These companies often purchase infrastructure that American firms have left behind, promising much-needed investment and the preservation of local jobs. For many communities, this seems like a welcome rescue, a chance to keep their towns alive. On the surface, it appears to be a lifeline for struggling towns, offering hope and economic stability where there was once uncertainty. But beneath this hopeful exterior, there's a quieter, more significant shift underway. A steady transfer of control over a critical American resource to foreign corporate boards. often far removed from the communities they now influence. The border between the US and Canada is becoming less relevant when it comes to ownership and decision-making, even as it remains a barrier for workers and regulators. The flow of capital and authority is increasingly northward. Canadian-controlled entities have become powerful gatekeepers in the US food system, overseeing everything from production to distribution, and shaping the future of American agriculture in subtle but significant ways. Now, decisions made in corporate offices in Toronto or Calgary can directly affect the prices Americans pay for meat, the jobs available in Texas and Kansas, and the long-term direction of the entire industry. This transformation is unfolding quietly, with little public debate or scrutiny, even as it reshapes the backbone of America's food supply. The question remains, who truly controls what ends up on America's plate? This is a soft power takeover, not by force, but by economic means. When foreign corporations control our food supply, they gain leverage over prices, availability, and safety. Their loyalty is to their own interests, not American consumers. In a crisis, will their priorities align with ours? Every time a processing plant passes into foreign hands, we lose a bit of food sovereignty. Our system's obsession with efficiency and low prices has made us vulnerable. We're trading long-term resilience for the illusion of cheap abundance. Supermarket shelves may look full, but real choice is an illusion. A handful of giant corporations, many now foreign-owned, control most of the meat we eat. Tyson's closures and foreign acquisitions only accelerate this consolidation. Less competition means higher prices and less innovation. Quality and safety can suffer, as cost-cutting becomes the priority. Supporting local producers gets harder as global giants dominate processing and distribution. The illusion of choice hides a food supply controlled by a global oligopoly. Our meat supply chain is efficient, but dangerously fragile. It operates like a well-oiled machine, but one small hiccup can cause the entire system to falter. The efficiency we pride ourselves on is a double-edged sword, leaving little room for error or unexpected disruptions. The closure of a few major plants can disrupt the entire system, leaving ranchers stranded and shelves empty. This isn't just a temporary inconvenience. It's a significant threat to our food security. Ranchers face financial ruin, and consumers find themselves facing scarcity. This brittleness is the result of consolidation. Too few massive facilities, too little redundancy. When we put all our eggs in one basket, we risk losing everything if that basket breaks. The lack of smaller, local facilities means we have no backup when the big players falter. We saw it during COVID-19, and now again with corporate strategy driving shutdowns. The pandemic exposed the cracks in our system, and yet, we continue to follow the same path. Corporate decisions prioritize profits over resilience, leaving us vulnerable. Foreign control adds another risk. In a crisis, will these companies prioritize American needs? When foreign interests control our food supply, we must question where their loyalties lie. In times of global crisis, will they support us or their own nations? National security isn't just about borders, it's about feeding our people. Ensuring a stable food supply is as crucial as defending our land. We must rethink our strategies to protect our citizens from hunger and instability. We're building our food security on a house of cards, with the winds already rising. The slightest disturbance can set off a chain reaction leading to a collapse. We must act now to reinforce our foundations before it's too late. The pursuit of efficiency has left us vulnerable and dependent. While efficiency is important, it should not come at the cost of security. We need a balanced approach that values both productivity and resilience. This is not a sustainable position. We must rethink our strategies and build a more robust system. Our future depends on it. We're not powerless. Reclaiming control starts with a new mindset. We must rebuild local and regional food systems, supporting small and mid-sized processors. Government can help with grants and regulatory relief, making it possible for independent producers to compete. When farmers have more options, the market becomes more resilient. Consumers play a role too. Every dollar spent locally strengthens community food security. This isn't nostalgia, it's an investment in a secure future. A diverse food system, rooted in local ownership, is stronger and more adaptable. Protecting our food sovereignty is the best investment we can make. We face a choice: Continue down the path of consolidation and foreign control, or rebuild for resilience and sovereignty. One path leads to dependence and vulnerability. The other, to renewed strength and local prosperity. The Tyson closures are a wake-up call, exposing deep flaws in our food system. We can accept the status quo or seize this moment to change course. The future of American meat isn't written yet. It depends on the actions we take now. Will we be passive consumers or active citizens shaping our food future? The empty slaughterhouses are a stark reminder of what's at stake. The decision is ours.